back at base camp. Back at base camp. Home for the 120th game. Home for all the home games. And that's why I'm delivering you this preview from my actual kind of permanent home address, I suppose. It's nice. It's nice to be back home. Obviously, uni will become home very quickly, but there's no place like this place. What can I say? And I came back to a massive stack of letters on my desk. All of these sat on my desk, and a textbook that cost 40 quid that we need to learn shorthand, which, in case you don't know, is the journalist's way of writing stuff down very quickly in a way that only you know. It's between 60 and 100 words every minute. And if you're doing shorthand over a court case, you have to keep that set of shorthand notes for the next 5 years. That's the law. You have to keep those notes. Dive in chat, shall we? Jensen, good evening, mate. How are you? My new shirt, I will tell you about that in just a second. Jeff, good evening. With regards to the shirts, I was braced for the online fight this time 24 hours ago. And then I got a text from my mate Josh, who says, "Are you going to try and get one of those shirts?" I said, "Yes, I am." He goes, "All right, I'll go to the shop and get you one tomorrow." And he said, so he sorted me and my dad out with shirts and what have you. And the statement didn't say anything about the tracksuit bottoms and the tracksuit top, which I really, really want. And they're another story. But Josh sent me a picture of him stood outside the Tiger Leisure shop at the MKM Stadium this morning at 12 minutes past 8. What a legend. What a legend. So I am in debt, massive debt to Josh. So I need to pay him back. And then someone else who I know, I was asking them if they had any luck, and they says, yeah, loads. Got one for him, got some for his family. Yeah, good. I said, right, I'm just sat in the queue for this website because online it just didn't work for me ever that whole morning. And by the time they put the queue on, it was like I was sat there thinking, right, I need to try and get these tracksuits. And I was sat just waiting. And then the way the time was going, I thought, I'm not gonna get on that website before I have to leave for my lecture. And I said, right, I said to Rich, I want this, and I'm in the queue. He sends us a screenshot and goes, it looks like there's still loads of the sizes you want left. I wanted a large tracksuit top, large tracksuit bottoms for me, and a 3XL for my dad. I was like, hang on, you on the website? Because it said 10:24 at the top, and that was the time, 10:24. So he was like, yeah, I am. Like, if I ping you 175 quid, which it all comes to, can you order them for me? And then I'll just come and pick them up. So I have... had I been in Hull, I would have been first in that queue at Tiger Leisure this morning at about 8 o'clock. But somehow, while still being away at uni, I jammed my way to one of everything. In the first 1904 release, I jammed my way. And Cox is right. The club have realised that only selling 1,904 shirts was never going to be a good idea. And I think we need to stop with the whole limited release now. Because every single time they've done a limited release, the website has broken, and broken badly. Very, very badly indeed. Going back to the first retro release from last year, the jacket I've got there, the tracksuit bottoms I'm wearing now. These shirts coming out, by the way. Hold on a sec. These shirts coming out cost $26.99. It makes a mockery of the club selling these last year when they do this where the white is just black. There's not much difference, is there? Just these panels and the Hull City text on the back. That's not on that one. These went for 45 quid. 45 quid these went for as it falls off the hanger. And these cost like 20 quid less. It makes the club, it's gone under the radar, but the club really haven't covered themselves in glory with that one either. But I saw Alzate debut this, and yeah, I had to. I got my dad one for his birthday because that was about the time they came out, and I got one for myself as well because why not? It's not what you know, it's who you know. Exactly. Friends in a friend either at work or in his living room, and a friend sat in his car at 8 o'clock driving to the stadium to be first in the queue. So Josh and Rich, public shout out to you both. Josh really won't care about the public shout out. Rich will care way more than Josh will. But yeah. Thank you, both of you. Josh definitely isn't watching this, but Rich might be. Jacob, good evening, mate. I'm pleased you managed to get both after our little conversation earlier on. Simon, good evening. Someone said with the club struggling with FFP, why have they do a limited release? It was going to be high demand. Yeah, you get more money in. And, one of my mates, he's a big sort of critic of, Adrian just wants money. Why do you think they bring so many tracksuits out and stuff like that? I don't think the decision to make them, as I've got out of phone, my laptop webcam doesn't do this to me. Come on! My laptop webcam doesn't do this to me. But I don't think it would have come from Adrian, the decision to redo them again. I think that came from Andrew and Joe in marketing and commercial and the chief operating officer, possibly Tan as well in that, and the media guys. There's a sort of, we probably should have done that better. But the club listened to feedback very quickly and acted on it. So great job. University course, journalism. I will, at the end of this 3 years, I will be a Bachelor of the Arts in journalism, not sports, Simon. Cross the word sports out and you've got it. The anniversary shirt was the same price as the replica kits from this season at 55 quid. I wonder how many of them are on eBay for inflated prices, not looked. I don't think many will be, just because they're going to come out again and they'll be just 55. So I don't think people will go on eBay. Although I have seen this same one that you've probably seen, Jacob, where it's gone for about 150, 200 quid. Uni has already sent Joe to drinking. Impressive. Connor, it's not uncommon for me to be sat here with a Corona on a preview night. It's really, really not uncommon. Anyway, I've had some good nights in Wetherspoons over the past week or two. and I had to get 2 trains to get back here. So my first one at 3:30 took me from Lincoln to a place just outside Immingham, which is on the other side of the Humber Bridge, called Hayborough. The train station there's no building, no nothing. And there are 2 platforms, one to go east, one to go west. The train lines cross like that. It's 2 platforms basically, and the only thing in sight from when you get off the train is a little pub, the Station Inn. So I thought, I've got an hour to kill until my next train, till the train that would take me from Hayborough to Barton, and then I could come across the Humber Bridge and back home. I had a little sit down, and for £4.50, which is not bad at all, I had myself a little pint of Matchday. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Asked Ferriby why 21s at York. They didn't know. They were only asked to cover a few games York couldn't cover. I'm going to say no comment on that. Come on! I forgot how frustrating this was. Come on! Come on! Right, we're getting there. There we go, we're back. Yeah, I'm going to say no comment on that. I can only do one more 21s game this year, and that's the one that's scheduled at Ferriby in the new calendar year. Well, it's one of the ones that's scheduled at Ferriby. There might be a couple more, but with it being in York, 2 p.m, it's just impossible. And with me living away as well during the week. But one of these Ferriby games falls on a reading week when there's no teaching scheduled, which is perfect. And for midweek games, I can get the 3:30 train on a Tuesday because I finish at 3 until Christmas, and I have the Wednesdays off, and I don't start on a Thursday until 3 o'clock. Magnifique. But after Christmas, I lose my free Wednesday, and I don't finish on a Tuesday until about 6. But there's only one midweek home game scheduled in the new year, which isn't in like my Christmas holidays or my Easter holidays. And it falls on that reading week. Come on. Beautiful. Beautiful. Looking a bit red. You've been on the sunbed. I haven't. I think it's just nice to be home. I don't know what it is. Ben. I'm just excited. Don't know whether it's the light. It's different lighting to what we've done last few weeks now. Was in the queue for the shirt and Coldplay tickets and didn't get both. Oh, God. Are the players using it tomorrow? Yes, they are. I think it's going to be the only time it's worn. And the match-worn shirts will go either on sale or on auction. After that, Cynic back in full training. Maybe we actually see him play. Maybe. Where have I been? Jacob, we love the spoons. So as you go through the St. Mark's shopping park, turn right, and it's called Ritz, RITZ, and it's a cracking little spoons. Did I manage to get one of the new shirts? Yes, I did. I explained this. If you want to rewind the stream and find out how I jam my way to everything, you're more than welcome to. Hook. Joe's redder from the pressure of female students. Right, good. And that's where we leave the Joe's life discussion there, I think. Because, believe it or not, first year of uni isn't just about getting drunk. It's a lot about getting drunk. And first year doesn't really count for much, but it matters if you don't pass it. So So that's I've lost my train of thought. So in other words, if any of you plan on going to uni, enjoy yourself first year. Do it, it's great. But try and balance these and the 40 quid textbooks they make you buy. I mean, I'm going to need it doing shorthand, but yeah. Can see you collecting a few traffic codes this year. No comment. Yes, it is. Don't lie. Thank you, Leo. Hope all's good, mate. What do you think the prize thing's going to be attached to people's chairs? I don't know, actually. I honestly don't know. But if you got one on your seat, congratulations. Congrats on your mystery prize. Sam, I really don't think that's the case. I understand why it was like a sort of safety concern, but ultimately the manager has a way of doing things. And when they first sort of came on the coach or were coming in their cars in pre-season, Louis Coyle made sort of quite clear to us it was a manager's thing about how he wanted them at the training ground for like a pre-match meeting and meal and that. So it's new, and there might have been something from a higher up to say that we need to sort of try and like limit how many people come and try and see the players early. But Tim's not the most personable guy from when I've met him. He's not the same as Liam Rosenior. Everyone has their different ways of doing things. He's very Germanic in how he does things. So I'd be very surprised if the club just said, if someone higher up at the club, in terms of like fan engagement or whatever, said to the manager, this is how it's going to work. But the managers will very, very sort of quickly say, if they don't approve it, they'll say, no, this is my way of doing things, and the club will change it back. It's just how managers do things, if you get what I'm trying to say. Leo, mate, it's no worries. I was just, I was about to have my beer, to be honest, in the, it was just before I decided to go for a pint, actually. I was just ringing to see how you were and to kill some clock. Do you think there'll be, there will be, there's a special edition programme. It's double the amount of pages as the normal one. It's going to cost £5, so £1.50 more, but you're getting double the pages. So it's probably better value for money, really, because £3.50 for 64 pages, you double that, and you end up you end up at £7. So the value for it actually isn't that bad. I looked on eBay this morning, and someone had listed a program that they'd get it posted to them, or they'd go to the club shop or go to the game just to get the program. And they said they had it on for £7.99 plus £3.95 postage. Something tells me no one will be buying that, especially when you can go on the Ignition Sports Media website and you can buy it for £5 and then pay 50p or £1 postage and get them to you. Yeah, and the program cover as well. They've gone away a little bit from all the sort of retro-y stuff they've been doing this year. It's just sort of. Does it take you to that one? No. I'm trying to see where I can get the best picture of it. It'll be on the Ignition website, the cover now, surely. Yeah, it will. I'll share that. So if you're not going to the game and you want a program, you can go on ignitionsportsmedia.com/collections/Hull City. These are the guys who make the programs for the club. And it's a 120-page issue for 120 years. This is the cover. Louis sat in Guildhall. I think this was the picture where he had Andy Dawson next to him, modelling the new kit. Official souvenir program for a £5. Jobs are good. And interested to see what kind of stuff's in there. Really interested to see what kind of stuff is in there. It says notes from the chairman, head coach, captain, vice captain to talk about their experiences of Hull City. We cover the years of the club through the eyes of icons as we sit down with Frank Banks, Gareth Roberts, Peter Taylor, Phil Brown and Curtis Davis. First team duo Casey Palmer and Liam Miller talk about their time away with internationals and how they're settling into life in Hull, while academy manager Richard Naylor provides an update from Bishop Burton College. Along with hearing the latest from the club's official charity partner Tigers Trust, we look at how the club has developed over 120 years through our exclusive galleries. Purchase your copy at the MKM for a £5 or purchase online through Ignition Sports Media. That's what's in it. And I saw someone asking chat earlier, Dino is one of 8 legends they've just confirmed. Dino, David Myler, Jason Price, Brian Hughes, and then from a lot of years ago, these guys are in the 500s for heritage numbers. John Kay, Stuart Blampy, Steve Deere, and John Davis. They're going to join. Waggy, Peter Taylor, Brian Horton, Frank Banks, Justin Whittle, Steve Wilson, Dennis Booth, Stan McEwen, John Hawley, and Tom Wilson. And it's actually fallen quite nicely if they think David Myler can get there. Well, he's obviously there because the under-18s aren't playing, so he doesn't have to do his actual Saturday job of managing the Stars of tomorrow for Hull City. Been waffling for 25 minutes. Should we just rattle through this? Because I said I was only going to be half an hour so I could go and spend some time with my family because I've not seen them in 2 weeks. So, team news, Casey Palmer's a doubt, but Oscar Zambrano and Abdul Sharma are both fit. Charlie Hughes could be available to face QPR in midweek after appendix surgery. Ryan Longman and Dokan Sinek are making progress. Sinek is in full training. I repeat, Dokan Sinek is in full training. I forgot to put João Pedro in there, but he won't be playing. Andy Smith and Harvey Cartwright remain absent. The ref, has it loaded? No, it's just, I've just got to reset it very, very quickly. The referee is Lee Doughty. 2-liners are Nigel Lugg and Matthew McGrath. Is that who I think it is? If it is, yes, it is. Yes, it is. He used to be a science teacher at my old secondary school. Second, he was there when I was in year 7, and then he left to go and be head of science, department head at Sirius. Sinek will trip over a leaf and be out to the end of the season. Gary Brabin isn't there. Stuart Elliott isn't there. The club have put the full list on. Yes, Liam Moore. He never taught me, but he taught a couple of people that I know. The year before that, remember when the assistant referee, got injured at Norwich against, I think it was Reading, and they had to call a fan on to do the fourth official board, so the fourth official could be linesman. That linesman that pulled his hamstring was Mr. McGrath, and apparently the year before, while he was recovering, he was hobbling round on crutches as a result for what, about 6, 7, 8 weeks while he recovered. Yeah. So it just goes to show what some of these linos can get up to. The referees are like full time, but the linos they can do whatever. Stats from Stoke then. Less shots, strangely, but way more possession with way more passes. Still only 3 shots on target. Chris Badilla was still quite isolated in that one. But we won. So we won in the second half was promising. We probably won't get that lucky again. But you take those, definitely. For Cardiff then. Obviously, change of manager. They've got, is it Omer Meta? Omer Mesa? I think. Cardiff's head coach. Oh, I've forgotten his name. Omer Rizza. That's it. Omer Rizza is their interim manager after they sacked Errol Bullitt in the week. And do excuse me. They've had a torrid start to the season. Their last lineup was Jack Anick in goal. They had a back 5 of so they had Perry Ng. Their centre halves were Callum Chambers, who we nearly signed in January, Will Fish and Joe Bagan. Left wing back, they had Callum O'Dowda. The midfield was made up of Ollie Tanner and Ruben Colwill wide, with Manolis Siopis and Joe Rawls in the middle, and Wilfried Kanga up top. They've got Aaron Ramsey, but he's injured. No surprise there. Chris Willock nearly signed for us in January. Anwar El Ghazi, he's been in the news a lot recently with his case against, what team was he playing for in the Netherlands, Joe? Think. Is it PSV? Oh no, it was Mainz, wasn't it? It was Mainz, sorry. He went to Mainz after leaving PSV. And then he, of course, had time with Aston Villa. And then the whole wrongful dismissal thing after his comments on the Israel-Palestine conflict. Current form then. I've forgotten how to do this. I'm used to seeing everything on a little smaller screen. Now I've been away for however long I've been away. Right, so seeing as I've forgotten to flick it off there, Cardiff then. Oh dear. There's the start of the season. 1 point in the derby against Swansea. Other than that, all defeats. Us, when you look at it, we've actually only lost to Leeds and Sheffield United, who are 2 teams who have dropped out the Premier League in the last 2 years, but then draws against Plymouth and Millwall, who are dreadful. Also isn't particularly great, but we've got a win on the board now against Stoke. Let's hope we can make a winning run of things. The table then looks like this. We have climbed to 16th with that win. Cardiff are, of course, sitting at the bottom of the pile with 1 point and the worst goal difference in the league. The joint worst defence in the league with Portsmouth, but Portsmouth have drawn 3 games. Let's get to the end of this now, shall we? Around the grounds, kicking off just now, Plymouth versus Luton tonight. And then tomorrow, 12:30s are Blackburn versus QPR, Derby versus Norwich, and Sheffield Wednesday versus West Brom. 3 o'clocks are us versus Cardiff, Watford versus Sunderland, Portsmouth versus Sheffield United, Oxford versus Burnley, Millwall versus Preston, Middlesbrough versus Stoke, Leeds versus Coventry, and Swansea versus Bristol City. And because there's midweek games, there are no Sunday games for the first time all season. The memorable match I've picked is the last time we wore black at home. Not like as in black, a pretty much full black kit, not amber and black, obviously. It was this one, of course. Aliyah and Louis Coyle scoring the goals. Coyley from range, Aliyah with a bit of good pressing, and we never ever got to see the best of that pressing play, that desire again with injuries, sadly for Aliyah, Syed Manesh. Team was Matt Ingram in goal, back four, Alfie Jones, Sean McLaughlin, Jacob Greaves. Midfield the 2 wing-backs, were Louis Coyle and Brandon Fleming, with a midfield of Slater and Smallwood. Honeyman and Lewis Potter were sort of inside forwardy. Honeyman was just given license to do whatever he wanted, really, wasn't he? Under Shota Avaladze with Aliyah up top. Bench, Nathan Baxter, the goalkeeper, Greg Doherty, Tom Eaves, Ryan Longman, Tom Huddleston, Dishon Bernard and Marcus Force, with Shota Avaladze in charge there. Cody Drama playing for the Welsh outfit that season, of course. Will he keep his place at left back? Probably. And the last time we played him, won 3-0. Aaron Connolly, a Scott Twine. Was that the Scott Twine free kick, that one? I think it was. And Ozan Tufan scoring. And when we get to the record, you'll see why this game should really be a banker. Also up in goal, back four, Christy Jones, Greaves and Coyle. Midfield 3, Seri Morton and Tufan. Delap and Twine, the wide players, with Connolly up top. The bench, Ingram, the goalkeeper, McLaughlin, Doherty, Traore, Vaughan, Smith, Slater, Jacob and Sellers Fleming, with Liam Rossigna in charge. And Josh Bowler, a former Tiger, in the Cardiff team that day. They've got no former Tigers at the moment. We'll touch on a former Tiger at the minute, or in a second. But the record, this is why I think it's a banker. We had this sort of patch where we couldn't beat them. And then this was the game that relegated us, this 3-0 defeat in July 2020 to League One. We came back up from League One and we've not lost to them since. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games unbeaten. 3 at home, 3 away. Come on, City, keep that up. For shared shirts today, I've not gone for a niche one because it's an anniversary and a Legends game. I've gone for who I'd regard as a bit of a modern-day Hull City cult hero / legend in Greggsy, Alan McGregor. Alan McGregor signed for us in 2013, having left Besiktas. 148 appearances in goal for us, including that one in the FA Cup final there, which is the picture I've used on the left-hand side. When he had his injury in pre-season of 2016-17, it took half a season for him to recover. By that point, Jakupovic was playing really well. We'd signed David Marshall, so Marco Silva opted to send Alan McGregor out on loan to help build his fitness back up. He was out on loan with Cardiff for the second half of that 2016-17 season. Played 19 times for the Bluebirds under Neil Warnock. It was the Neil Warnock who said he would have liked to have signed Alan McGregor had his wages not been so huge, basically. And my predicted team, let's have it. Panda keeps his place in goal. Coyle at right back, 2 centre-backs, Jones and McLaughlin. Drama stays in at left back. Midfield, Zambrano is fit, so he's in. Slater comes in place of Marvin Malem alongside a Casey Palmer, who I hope and pray is fit. On the right, Mohamed Baloumi keeps his place. On the left, Liam Miller comes in replacing Abdul Shamir. And up top, Chris Bedia. The bench, Carl Rushworth, Ryan Giles, Marvin Malem, Abdul Shamir, Xavi Simons, Stephen Alzate, Gustavo Puerta, Abu Kamara, and Mason Bairstow. Predicted score. With all the legends coming to watch this, you hope we win for them. You would hope so. I mean, players like Brian Hughes, he comes every week. They just don't publicise it because he sits in like a normal seat with, I think, his little boy. And Myler used to come quite regularly as well before he got a coaching job with the academy. So, right. Liam says 2-0. Palmer if fit. If not, Slater will score and Amir if playing. Coxie says 2-1. Badia 3-0 says Tay Hook. I think we'll win 2-0. Goals coming from Liam Miller getting his first. And why not? Chris Badia. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you for the Matchday vlog tomorrow. It's a different colour thumbnail to fit with the gold theme that the club have gone for. And I spent my train journey making a little player circle for my lineup graphics in the black and gold and plugging all the players into it. It was great fun. It killed 45 minutes on my first train, definitely. And then I did all the Cardiff ones for the next sort of half hour, 35 minutes that I was on the train from Hayborough to Barton. Anyway, enough about my trades for one night. See you tomorrow. Up the Tigers, and goodbye.